So this week's reading allowed us to get a little bit more information about some of the organ systems that we've been talking about last week. And the one that I would like to discuss today is the skeletal system. This is mainly comprised of two different types of tissue, the cartilage and bone. I'm going to talk about these each individually. The cartilage, there's many different types within the skeletal system, and they vary based on the amount of ground substance that is present. There's highlighting cartilage, fibrocartilage, and elastic cartilage. Elastic cartilage is mainly found in the ear and it allows for a lot of flexibility, and so that's not quite as involved with the skeletal system as the other two. The hyaline cartilage is present on the articular surfaces of our joints. It's in between each of the bones, and this is important because it's very abundant with ground substance, so that helps protect bones from the friction as they meet together, for example in the knee when we're trying to walk. Hyaline cartilage is the precursor in bone development, and so it's present in a lot of young bones also, and then it is characterized by small amounts of chondrocytes which are present within the ground substance, and that is what allows you to notice it histologically on a slide. And there are also some presence of some collagen fibers which surround the chondrocytes. The fibrocartilage is present in the intervertebral discs and also within some tendon to bone attachments. It has a lot of cartilage fibers and a small amount of extracellular matrix and ground substance. This is, when you look at this histologically, it's layers between hyaline cartilage matrix and then thick layers of the collagen fibers, which is what it's mainly composed of. And it's good for shock absorption, which is present in our back in between our vertebrae. So that was the cartilage present in the skeletal system, and then the bone is what we would normally think of when we think of the skeleton. And this is comprised of cells and collagenous extracellular matrix, and that's called an osteoid. And then there are three different types of cells that are present in the bone. There's the osteoblasts, which synthesize the osteoid, and they contain large spindle-shaped fibers that with a lot of cytoplasm, which contain endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi, and a very large Golgi body. And I found this interesting because then it said that this indicates a high rate of protein synthesis, which makes sense that there would be a very large Golgi body and endoplasmic reticulum. And this is also where the mineralized bone could be distinguished if you're looking at a slide, because this has a solid blue stain. Then there's osteocytes, which are the inactive osteoblasts within a bone. They're what comprise most of the bone. And then there's the osteoclasts, which help with, they erode the bone, and so they can make holes in it, which is what I used to think of. This would be the muddiest point for me, because I didn't realize that they can actually help with the constant turnover of bone cells. For example, during growth, you'd want them to get bigger, so you have to get rid of the old cells. I always associated the osteoclasts with problematic cells in terms of osteoporosis, so that's the muddiest point for me. Another interesting point about the osteoclasts is for on the histological slide, they are large and multinucleated cells. They have some microvilli, which is distinguishable on the slide, and they react with the parathyroid hormone and calcitonin, and that's how I associated them with the osteoporosis. So yeah, that was my summary of the skeletal system.